Okay, let's make a ukulele top and back. I've removed the cover from the drum sander so that you could see it working. I'm sanding down the billet. This is about a 30-year-old piece of spruce that we're going to use for the top. Normally the dust collector top would be collecting all the dust off of the drum as it sands down the billet. This is just a thin piece of the billet that's left, so I'm only going to get 2 pieces out of this for the top. So we'll take it over to the bandsaw, and you want to mark a center line that you can split the billet into a book-matched pair, and then cut it in half in the bandsaw. This goes pretty quick. And once we have the 2 pieces, we'll take it back to the drum sander and do a little rough sanding to get them even. I'm going to go ahead and put the dust collection back on. Some hearing protection because it's a bit noisy. And hopefully that'll keep the dust down a little bit. Speed it up a little bit. And we'll do the exact same thing for the 2 pieces that are going to make the back of the ukulele as well. Those are going to be made out of walnut. Basically just taking a piece of wood, splitting it, and sanding it down. Next we're going to use a shooting board to get that middle joint really, really tight. That's the shooting board. We're going to use a plane. And basically, the idea here is to get as straight and even and tight of a center joint so it takes very little pressure in the clamping process and very little glue to make this come together perfectly. You want to take your time, check the fit, see where there's a little bit of a gap. You can even hold it up to the light and see where the light shines through when you're holding them together. And then just focus on those areas to remove a little bit of material until you have a really, really tight joint in the middle when you're holding it together. And the better you do this, like I said, the less gluing pressure you need, the less glue, and the better it will be for transmitting sound. It'll be as close to one piece on the top and the back as you can get. So I've already finished the walnut that's going to go in the back the same way, splitting it down the middle, sanding it out, putting it on the shooting board, getting a really nice tight joint in the middle, and now we'll just glue up these pieces. It doesn't take a lot of glue, but you want to make sure that the glue that you put on is evenly distributed all along the joint. I'm doing the clamping on a board that I've prepared by covering it with wax paper, and I'll put a little piece of wax paper over the center joints, and then a caul that I just clamp on lightly that'll hold the boards flat. So we just apply a little bit of glue to the center joints, make sure it's nice and even, spread it out, and then we'll apply a bunch of clamps and cauls. There really isn't any difference between making a full-size guitar and making an ukulele. An ukulele really is just a small guitar. It takes all the hard work, all the same preparation, all the steps to make a ukulele as it does to make a full-size guitar. Sometimes people unappreciate them as toys, but they really aren't. They're just small guitars. as you'll see as we go through all the lessons. So put a couple pieces of wax paper over the center seams, and that'll keep the glue from getting on the cauls. The caul is really just a board that keeps it flat. So we'll clamp those on. Then I'll put a board on each end just to protect the edges a little bit. And we can hold that in place with a clamp until we put on the long clamps. And like I said, if you do the center seam correctly on the shooting board and make it a really, really tight fit, you really don't need that much pressure to hold these together. And I should be getting some clamps. Here we go. Now just a couple of long clamps, put the sideways pressure on it, and we can let it dry. It's a little bit tedious of a process. Maybe I should have sped this up a little bit. I have the board that I'm doing the gluing on raised up a little bit so I can put the clamps on the board to hold the pieces nice and flat. So we'll just put another caul down the middle just to make sure that they don't bow up with the pressure. And one final clamp now that everything's good, and that should be good to go. Wait for a couple hours, let the glue set up, and we can come back, take off all the clamps, and we will have a nice ready for final sanding, top and back, for the ukulele. The wax paper makes it really easy. And you can see it's just a super tight joint. And you can take these back to the drum sander now for a very fine sanding that will clean up all the glue, squeeze out, and get ready to move on to the next step. They look great. The drum sander that I am using, I made for the shop, and you can make one for yourself. You can get the plans at themakermanworkshop.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.